Genesis 12:4 through 9, migration from Haran to Bethel. So Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions which they had gathered, and the persons that they had gotten in Haran. And they set forth to go to the land of Canaan. When they had come to the land of Canaan, Abram passed through the land to the place at Shechem, to the oak of Moreh. At that time the Canaanites were in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, To your descendants I will give this land. So he built there an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him. Thence he removed to the mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord, and called on the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed on, still going toward the Negeb. Overview. Abraham's departure is interpreted allegorically to signify the renunciation of the pleasures of the flesh, vices, and the world, with its father, the devil. Bede. The appearance of the Lord to Abraham possessed the problem of reconciling this text with others, especially New Testament texts that stress God's transcendence. But this is resolved by attributing the appearance to the Son, the image of the invisible God, Novatian. Where there is Bethel, that is, the house of God, there is also the altar. The building of an altar at Bethel and calling on the name of the Lord represent spiritual progress. Ambrose. 12:4, Abraham's obedience. We go forth from our land, Bede. In this, his going forth by divine command from the land, from his kin, and from the house of his father, it is clear that all the sons of his promise, among whom are we also, must imitate him. We go forth from our land when we renounce the pleasures of the flesh, from our kin when, in the measure possible for humans, we make an effort to rid ourselves of all the vices with which we are born. We go forth from the house of our Father when, for love of the heavenly life, we want to leave the world itself with its head, the devil. All of us, in fact, because of the first disobedience, are born into the world as sons of the devil. But through the grace of regeneration, all those who belong to the seed of Abraham are made sons of God, because our Father who is in heaven says to us, that is, to his church, Hear, O daughter, consider and incline your ear, forget your people and your father's house. 12:7, the Lord appears to Abraham. It was the Son who was seen, Novatian. Please note that the same Moses says in another passage that God appeared to Abraham, yet the same Moses hears from God that no man can see God and live. If God cannot be seen, how did God appear? If he appeared, how is it that he cannot be seen? For John says similarly, no one has ever seen God, and the Apostle Paul says, whom no man has seen or can see. But certainly Scripture does not lie, therefore God was really seen. Accordingly, this can only mean that it was not the Father, who never has been seen, that was seen, but the Son, who willed to descend and to be seen, for the simple reason that he had descended. In fact, he is the image of the invisible God, that our limited human nature and frailty might in time grow accustomed to see God the Father in him, who is the image of God, that is, in the Son of God. Gradually and by degrees, human frailty had to be strengthened by means of the image for the glory of the being able one day to see God the Father. 12:8, Abraham called on the Lord. The athlete of God, Ambrose. Where there is Bethel, that is the house of God, there is also the altar. Where there is the altar, there is also the calling on the name of God. It is not by chance that he made such great progress. He hoped in the help of God. The athlete of God exercised and strengthened himself in adversity. He went into the desert